Good morning, my friends, and welcome to my channel this morning. I am here in a place in my apartment, and I thought I would have go back to my white backdrop because it's quite interesting. I don't know, what is interesting? It all depends on the person, right? I am here this morning to talk about the ego and what the ego is, or in my perspective, or whatever, my own perspective, and that's my own ego. I believe that I am not my ego, and I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm realizing that I am not that thing, because from the past, that thing was trying to get something and to define me, and how would you say, like, yes, I have come to realize that I am not my ego, because the ego is like, I'm going to read something here because I want to try to get my thoughts more clear in how I speak about certain things and what is really important to me, because I feel like I want to share it, because I'm at a point, I think, where I can serve others, and I want to serve others, and it means more than anything to me in my life, more than my work, more than just anything, I think. And this connection with myself is the most vital thing I've ever experienced. And I'm thinking from this point, or observing my mind from this point in my life at age 51. But this journey has been going on for a long time. But now that I'm getting myself now into the space, because I'm not editing anything here, and anyhow, let me just get myself into a space and to talk to you about the ego and what the ego is and what it's not, or whatever, or my perspective, because I've learned a lot on my journey to today. So I'm going to share that with you because I want to, and I desire that. I really used to believe that my ego was who I was, or who I am, and what I have, and what I do, and what people think of me. And that is not, has no weight anymore. I am not those things. And there was a point in my life where the ego had control over me, and I really was living from that point of view, and it caused me so much suffering in myself, and and from reading and having conversations with other people, it is also the ego can run your life, and we are simply not that, and we're past that. So when I realized that I was not my ego at a certain point in my life, I wanted to get rid of that, and I really tried to do that. And that's, you're not going to be able to get rid of your ego, because your ego is so strong, and it's part of your identity, and you are not separate from that. But that is not who you are. And there are different stages in our lives that we go through, and we recognize, if we are aware of those things, we recognize that. So I am here to tell you that you are not your ego, and that that living from that place of who I am, what I've done, what I've achieved, what kind of stuff I have in my life, yeah, if you're defined by what you have, and you're defined by what other people think of you, and you are defined by what you do, I think that I came to the realization that at one point in my life that I was not any of those things, and how I was seen by other people, and I don't know, I just realized that it caused a lot of irrational suffering. So, you know, on that note that I'm talking about the ego, I've learned over time that I'm not going to be able to get rid of that part. It's like wearing a coat, and you can't really take it off, because it is a kind of, I don't know, a play in a sense, and you feel like, sometimes you feel like two people inside you. I know that you do, and you have, like, I guess it's described as like the authentic self, and then you have the ego, and they're constantly in battle with each other. And I have seen that, witnessed that in myself and in others, and so I got really exhausted from that, and so I started to perhaps become like a warrior, or a sense, to continue to travel on this spiritual journey of mine. And I realized that there are so many different paths, and I just needed to pick one, whatever resonated with me. And I see that also too, within that search, that the ego starts to attach to these kind of things. And you know, you can meditate for days, you can do yoga, you can do all of these things that will perhaps lessen or the ego. But in fact, some of these things for me became again a trap, and I felt maybe perhaps spiritually superior, I guess, in some way. So I'm here to tell you right now that my ego is there, but I'm not running from my ego, or how can you say, my life is not, I am not living by my ego and what my ego wants. And I'm so aware of the possibility that I am something else, and I am not separate from creation. I'm just simply not that. And so that may scare some of you, whatever, because it is something that is intimidating to you and threatening to your ego and to your existence. And that's all good, and that's all fine for you if this does not resonate with you. But maybe I can invite you to take a look at all that, because you can alleviate some irrational suffering that you're comparing yourself, or that you believe that you are your things, or what you do, or how people think of you, and the status that you're trying to create, because it's all an illusion. I believe it's all an illusion, and we are not our egos. And I desire to be able to find the language in my channel to be able to express that, because I have a huge desire to serve others because of my own experience that I'm having. And I will continue to share this with people, because it seems to be where I am. And you know, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I don't know. I'm just here to share with you, to share the miraculous thing that I discovered, that I am discovering, that I recognize and allow everything in my life, that my ego, it has its play, but it's losing its grip. It's absolutely losing its grip, because I am not that, and I realize that. So today I'm just going to leave you with this, and that I'm so grateful that you're here with me and to listen to me, because I feel like I'm just basically a regular guy who has had success in a profession that happens to be dance, and I have been a performer, and now I'm a teacher and a creator, and all of those things came when I started to do creating and all these things. Some irrational things or suffering started to arise, and I was very curious about my own development. And why was I scared? And why did I care about what other people thought? And that was something great. I'm grateful that I started to realize that, because when I started to focus more on my authentic self and development of my own self, and to laugh at myself and to laugh at the absurdity of me trying to behave a certain way so other people could feel better, and they would be so thrilled and happy, and they would love me and all that kind of thing. It was such a dead end for me, and now I'm at a point in my life where I am living more or less from this point of view. I don't know. Then again, it's all concepts, and the only thing that the brain or the mind can do, the brain, however you describe it, can come up with some concepts. And I think that perhaps there's no words to label, because we learn in our language to label stuff. And so, I don't know, it's just coming through me, and I believe that I'm not separate from anything, that I am part of one. If I look at the world, I am part of creation, and I like to think, like, what beats my heart, what grows my hair, what breathes, all of these involuntary things that happen in my existence in this organism. And if I bypass my thoughts and my emotions and all of these things, that if I'm aware of any of it, that I'm not any of these constructs, and there's nothing to be able to label it because I've learned language, if that makes any sense to you, or if it's deep or whatever. So I've come to realize that, and I'm living from this point in my life, from that point where I'm just like becoming more or less like experiencing and just being where I am, and allowing that, what beats my heart and grows my fingernails and my hair and all of this involuntary stuff, I must be part of that. I am part of that. My ego would like to say that I'm separate from that. And there is a source of life that is there, and I'm so curious about that source. Well, my mind then can come up with the curiosity or something, because there is some kind of perhaps dualism, but I don't believe in dualism. There is no right and wrong. I'm going to experience, and I'm here on this journey to experience that with me. And so I just want to have fun with myself and be, I'm involved in dance, and I'm going to see where my life will end up and where I'm going to go. So, and I'm sharing that with you on a camera, so I don't know where it's going to go, but I certainly know that when I've realized that I'm not my ego and that it's trying to get something, it just kind of basically bored me over some time. And my spiritual journey has also changed, because I don't believe I have to do anything to really feel so-called enlightened, because I am. I don't know, I exist. I am. So, which is a miraculous thing. But I am not what I do. I am not what I've done. I am not defined by my stuff that I have, which is not so much materialistic things. So I am not what you think about me, because you look at me from your ego. That's what you do, because that's what we do. We look at each other through our filters of our own egos, and we judge and we label. And that's called suffering, because there's comparing and competition that is happening. So that doesn't make any sense to me, because I just know that I have compassion in my heart, and I'm living, and it's so, I don't know. I feel like our hearts are connected, and I want to connect with you, and I'm here connecting with you on some kind of level. So you're not your ego, and I just want to say that this morning, and maybe perhaps it resonates, maybe it doesn't, and maybe you're so fixed on making sure that your ego is in place, and that so you can feel good, but it's a trap. And I'm here to share that wisdom. Have a nice day, and I love you so much, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.